were talking about this Uranus and Taurus idea of the haves and have-nots, and the way that social media is pushing it. Those that are going to benefit on social media are those that are going to be able to pay for it. How the hell did it turn into that? We were talking about this Uranus and Taurus idea of the haves and have-nots, and the way that social media is pushing it. Those that are going to benefit on social media are those that are going to be able to pay for it. How the hell did it turn into that? I blame Elon.
Well, yeah, because as I was showing Marie earlier, I'm sorry, I started recording. I did not even say that I had, look at me being a good...
I saw the little recorded thing on there. I was like, that's right, capture it.
How kind. But when seeing this meta verified idea, and I was just like...
First there was Twitter, now Meta, social media platforms testing out subscription models to boost revenue. Meta announcing this weekend that it's copying, if you will, Elon Musk's Twitter Blue with a new service called Meta Verified. It costs users $11.99 a month for web, but the dollar figure you're concentrating on is $14.99 a month for iOS and Android for a verified badge. That's $15 a month on your iPhone. The perks are pretty similar to Twitter. You get a verified badge, protection from impersonation, increased visibility, and exclusive features. They say, like access to customer service. As one who is verified on Instagram, I can tell you there is no access whatsoever to customer service on Instagram. So it really comes down to that word visibility.
I've been upset for years about how pages, business owners, profiles that are monetized are treated by Facebook. They don't give a feck, especially in our particular space. There's nothing to safeguard someone making another page. I've seen pages start following me that are you, or they're Ra, or they're somebody else, and I know they're not. And I'm like, what the hell? And I have to pay you to kind of guard against that. What sort of protection am I going to be getting? What sort of benefits really are there to this other than for you to make money? And didn't he lose a bunch of money?
Yeah.
Is it Taurus? Is that a Taurus?
And then, closing offices and whatnot.
A few weeks ago, Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, they came out and they said that they're going to close their global head office. It's going to cost them around about $2 billion in lease payment write-offs. When they made the announcement, they said that this is for our staff. We want to provide maximum flexibility and you can work from anywhere. To me, as a leasing agent, that just rings alarm bells. It's generally telling about what's happening in their business, and it's never a positive thing. Lo and behold, yesterday they came out and said they're actually putting everyone on notice and they're about to do mass layoffs. It's probably going to be in excess of 30% of their 87,000 workforce. The metaverse, it's obviously been a massive investment. So far, it's been a massive flop. Mark Zuckerberg came out with his little avatar and looks like something from Nintendo Wii about 15, 20 years ago. I think it's just telling that it's a business in decline.
I'm sorry, I don't want to be part of your little experiment to rise your funds again. We want actual something done. I mean, even when you report posts, nothing happens. So right. I have no faith in this. And now they're like, nobody's seeing your shit unless you're paying to, for ads to advertise it. So we know what it's about. We see it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the whole Saturn and Aquarius, reaching its final motions. And the closer it gets to that anaretic degree is the closer we're going to see what's been really happening with Saturn's transit over these past 2.5 years. Yeah. And the restriction with, first we dealt with the whole, gosh, could we even still say it anymore? See how I'm already conditioned. I am conditioned socially to not say the word of the number between 18 and 20 because there was so much lock and key on being able to get reach because you were saying it. But we also saw that society was restricted. We couldn't leave the house. We couldn't go anywhere. We had to wear masks, things of that matter. And then now it's going into this this online, where we're seeing it now more on social media, the restrictions with social media, the having to pay because the dispositorship of Aquarius is Uranus and Taurus. Everything is being capitalized on, down to the minute minute of everything that we're doing when it comes to technology. Or I think you even mentioned food delivery services and yeah, oh my, and food prices rising. Oh, that it's really putting us in a category of what we have, what our values are for survival. Are we going to go ahead and say, I'm going to, because there have been times that I've been on Twitter and I saw what they offered with that Twitter Blue, and I'm just like, I need the reach to sell my product, to build my business.
Yeah.
They're saying, I don't know how accurate it is, but they're saying, if you do this monthly thing, we will increase your reach. We will increase your visibility. And I'm just like, I need those things. It's not just the want, but my values are going, do I really want someone to post a meme underneath one of my tweets going, this bitch paid for Twitter? Like,
I have seen that on posts when people jump on famous people's posts and say different things, and they happen to have their little verification, but they're not a person of note. They get fucking ripped a new one.
yes.
Like, people are right at their neck, like, you're not even important. You paid for that. And it's like, do I want to be in the ranks?
And then they don't make it any better. You know, if you click on the blue check on Twitter, it'll say verified because they paid for Twitter Blue. I'm like, shh, stop telling people that.
Oh, loud.
Right. Like, why are you screaming?
I have tried to get verified on Instagram, and I just don't know what's going on. My shit has been processing since July.
Wow. Yeah, I've tried. And this is the thing. Here goes a key that I'm noticing, and I wonder if social media isn't pushing themselves into their own rock and a hard place. Mm-hmm. For instance, I signed up for Space Hay when I think it was like only 8 months in when he had developed the site.
We're going to go on Space Hay. Hold on, let me log in with my email and not have
I'm about to log in too.
Here's Space Hay, everyone. Everyone here might be too young to know what this looks like.
I have so many friend requests, except these are all random people.
Look at all this. Look at the HTML I got going on here. Let's embed from Spotify.
Dude, I have to customize my Space Hay.
Bro, we gotta get big on Space Hay. We gotta start pushing on Space Hay. We gotta corner this market.
I honestly only want to corner this market. Y'all can have TikTok.
I was able to communicate with him, find out about, what he was trying to accomplish. I loved the idea. I supported it willingly because I wanted to see it, so I bought the Space Hay stickers and stuff so that I could show that I was supporting it. And I stayed in communication with him while building my page, that he verified me, when I showed what it was that I did and that I was helping to kind of spread the word everywhere. He ended up verifying my page, and I'm like, okay, that makes more sense to me on verification. Granted, it's just him not anymore, because it's grown. Like, there's over 500,000 users on Space Hay.
I need to log into mine. I have one. Okay.
Right. Yeah, like, it's grown astronomically in just a matter of a couple of years. So kudos, Space Hay, you guys are doing it. But it was because it was very new and I was able to speak to someone real, that he was able to vet my page based off of that interaction. And what I find with places like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, there's no one to talk to. There's no customer service. There's no one to actually take the time to go, okay, I see what you're doing. I see that you're a business. I see that you have an LLC. First of all, I think that if you're registered as a taxpayer for a business, that you should be verified. Like, that should just be automatic. You are a legitimate business. You pay taxes. Why aren't businesses verified? Right? And why is there not anyone to talk to? And I see that with that square with the Uranus and Saturn and Aquarius when it comes to technology. And what do these social media services really value? Because when I look at a situation like Space Hay, they value the people using the platform. Like he's so new and he's still in a mind frame, or I'm assuming that he's still in a mind frame that I wouldn't have a site if it weren't for you guys joining in the first place. So I appreciate that you've shown support. I appreciate that you're spreading the news. I see that you're a legitimate business. I see that you're a person who has legitimate product. Let me go ahead and verify you. Where is the value in that in these big companies where if they continue to keep pushing just for the value of money, their values are only in money, not in actually protecting their customer base, which is you wouldn't be social media without social, right?
Yes.
But now your values are only about monetizing it and making money off of it and completely forgetting everybody else that helps you do that. What is it going to be when people jump off of those platforms for more personal platforms, like say using Space Hay again, for example, or even searching for other social medias where they're like, okay, where is a site that remembers me in this situation?
We are just one of many.
Right.
One of many. I know Uranus is technology, making money with technology, but it is sudden losses with Uranus there with money, and perhaps people's values don't feel aligned with pay me so that you can be verified and protected every month. Like, what the fuck in this economy?
Right. And then it's a misguided value, because you should automatically have, with Saturn and Aquarius, the idea to protect people anyway. That should automatically be a value you should have without feeling like you need someone to pay you to have that value. So that's what it feels like to me. Like you want me to pay you so that you can acquire the morals. I'm sorry, what kind of morals are that if I have to offer you money monthly on top of it because your values in actually paying employees to do the job right the first time are not there? Like, I can't go for that. Like, it's a complete dismissal. And that's the other thing with the Uranus and Taurus. It shows those that are changing their morals and values, but also those that are completely detached from them, completely removing them, just obliterating them completely. Like, fuck my values, get paid, get money.
They definitely want this money, and to our detriment. And like you said, protection. I mean, I could see someone trying to justify this by saying something like, even big stars, are they expected to just go out in public and be protected? No, they hire security. However, how long have you been using Facebook, like in general? Let's think about this. Like, how many years? When did you jump on Facebook?
14 years.
Okay. Wow. Oh, yeah. It's what I think I got on in 2006, but I wasn't really using it. I was mad.
Right.
My face. Like, I really did. I was like, what the fuck is this Facebook shit? And then I remember I couldn't get on it at first unless you had a college email address. But in all of that time, think of all the different things that have changed with Facebook, from there only being a like button to now there being other reactions. I don't remember a lot of ads before or that model. I know they saw their opportunity at different stages to make money, and I'm not mad at anybody for taking advantage of those things, but it's to the point where I can get banned for saying that made me so mad, or I want to punch him, right? But then I can get tagged in porn, and a whole bunch of other, and they do nothing about it. And now, when it comes to the business owners, if you're trying to build your brand or do whatever it is that you're trying to do to push your business, if your post even looks like, this is a theory I have, if your post even looks like it's advertising something and you didn't pay for the ad, nobody's going to see it.
Yep.
Nobody sees it. It's forcing money out of people in order to be successful on the platform anymore.
Right. Yes. Like viral is you're extremely lucky if you skipped an algorithm check before going viral happened.
Yes.
Like, that's really like you had the right person share it. You had the right person comment on it. or you just happen to post it at a time where whatever it is you did, you skipped the algorithm check and you were able to go viral. After that, it's about you have to pay. And I noticed that it's not even just if it looks like an ad as well, because they actually have, I remember on Instagram, I posted something and it assumed it was an ad. So they suggested that I add a tag for branding. And I was like, this ain't no ad. This is just a template thing that I made that I wanted to post. But because, like you said, it had the figurings of looking like it could possibly be used for advertisement, it suggested, do you want to add this to a brand? You know, click the brand. This is supported by a brand. I'm like, no, it's not. Because it's not, you know. On top of it, certain keywords. For example, I posted something about my college class. I'm, currently one of the classes that's really driving a nail through my head is American politics and U.S. Constitution. and I wrote it, just to express, I'm all like, oh my God, I'm taking this class. I'm so frustrated. I have to read the Federalist Papers. Nobody talked to me for almost 24 hours. It literally had no views. Now you're on my Facebook page. You see that I get views on something if I'm posting about astrology or it's a picture. There's very rarely that, unless I'm sharing it from someone else's page, that you'll see that I'm not getting a reaction at all. I didn't get a reaction at all for 24 hours. And I knew it was because I used keywords, U.S. Constitution and American politics. It was probably the politics and because I just expressed a feeling about a class, the algorithm that they're using and the model of allowing AI and these keyword pickups to be used, which is the Saturn and Aquarius. We can see how this is very Saturn and Aquarius, allowing technology to create restrictions, void of any morals or values, Uranus and Taurus, because the computer itself is void of any common sense or what's the word that I'm actually looking for, that it does not have, it doesn't give benefit of the doubt, or it doesn't see things in context. It reads it quite literally. So it read that post, and this is what I'm assuming that is what's occurring based on how I know algorithms and AI to work, that it read it quite literally, saw way too many keywords in there for something that should get low visibility. And thus my post just expressing how I felt frustrated about a college course now became something to say, people don't need to see that.
Oh God. Now, does that mean that we have to resort to, I know somebody on Facebook that still does this. I don't mind it, but like when they post something and they think certain people should see it, in the comments, they'll tag people to make sure they see it. And I always feel annoying when I do that, but why should you have to even resort to that sort of thing just because you expressed yourself? Like, social media is supposed to be a place to be social, and they're like, only about the things we want you to be social about. Well, right. Yeah, it's annoying. And the future of Facebook, I mean, you've seen the metaverse, right? Please tell me you've seen the metaverse.
Yes, the Wii games from 2004.
I'm supposed to want to have a business meeting in the metaverse, spend a lot of time in the metaverse. Like, what? Like, and they spent billions on this.
Right.
And it's ugly. It's ugly, number one.
It is.
But with all the other things that all of us would probably call for some sort of reform on prior to us being able to live in the metaverse and enjoy ourselves and get lost there, they prioritize things, obviously, that they think are going to make them more money, and institute rules that are going to make them more money. And I mean, do your thing, but when we start walking away, because that's what I see coming, and it's hard to envision that because you can log into other sites with your Facebook account. You can, you know what I mean? Like, you can create an account by clicking, use your Facebook. You can integrate this into different places. Almost everyone has one. I don't even feel like it's an age thing anymore. Remember when a lot of the young people were like,
we don't get on Facebook. Our grandmamas is on there.
Yeah, like that sort of thing. Like, even like my daughter hardly uses it, but we'll get on there. You have an account so you don't miss out.
Mhm.
No, what are you missing out on at this point in time? Just pay to play? I don't want to
Yep.
play. Pay to play? To be
That's really
protected?
what it is. It's like a gotcha game, you know.
Yes.
That's exactly what it's like. And what I fear, or what I anticipate that is happening in the course of all this, how it's unfolding, is the fact that Pluto is going into Aquarius, and we're going to get a taste of it when it gets into Aquarius this year, right? In what, another month?
Yeah.
Next month? Yeah. Next month, we're going to start getting a taste. Right. Exactly. For about 5 months, and then it'll retrograde and it'll be back in Capricorn, so that we can maybe fix whatever the fuck we're about to fuck up when it comes to I don't have faith. But one quite literal translation of Pluto and Aquarius is power to the people.
Yes.
And if there's something that I know about businesses, just through experience being a customer and having to run my own, is that people are a lot more forgiving if you care about them. And I know that sounds so cliche, like, oh, you care? We're supposed to care. No, I'm serious. Like, they will literally forgive the shit out of you if they know that at the end of the day, you're really trying to take care of them. There's somebody for them to talk to. There's some kind of resolution to any problem. There are updates. You're letting them know what's going on if something goes wrong. So if you make a mistake in your business model where you're trying something new and it doesn't go over well, they are more forgiving. They will actually be like, no, try again. You're like, wait, hold on. It was a disaster. I know you guys have faith, but hold on.
Yes.
And with these big moguls, social medias, like I said, they are forgetting people, the whole Saturn and Aquarius, what it looks like when you forget the people, that when the power to people comes back, if that ends up being one of the manifestations of Pluto and Aquarius, then yes, it will completely transform the idea of social media. And if they don't get on board, I can see them losing severely. Like they could be.
And because they forgot about the people leave, Saturn and Pisces. So peace. I think that when we look at some of the examples of the changes in social media, like over the past couple years, of course, during we can't say the word because,
Right.
But I'll say during the pandemic, these were spaces and places where people were feeling more connected due to restrictions. And for anyone to say they didn't capitalize off of that it sounds ridiculous to me. I mean, there's, people that think, of course, that whole thing was planned. It's part of the so-called Great Reset. And it wouldn't be hard to believe, if that's really what is happening, that, a company like Facebook wouldn't be involved. I would assume that they would be. There's a lot of different news stories about the involvement the government actually has in pushing certain narratives. Like, if you even remotely mention the pandemic on Instagram, that box automatically is going to pop up at the bottom of your post. I see it misapplied all of the time. Like, a person isn't really even talking about that. So I'm like, Jesus, what is set in their system to pick up what words trigger that sort of thing? You know what I mean? This is misinformation. Or remember the whole fact checkers situation. So I can't share something. I mean, granted, I understand people think conspiracy theorists are crazy. Like, I get it. But there's some truth in things that you keep seeing proof of. You know what I mean? Like, especially when it comes to the masses at large and you're seeing these gigantic changes. Like, you're not going to convince me that there's not something going on, which leads me to go, the people that are talking about these sorts of things, of course, they don't want to promote them unless they pay on the platform because, well, I mean, the government already wants us to check this and check that, and you can't say this, and this is false, and all of these different things. So I'm wondering, especially as we get this like little preview for that 5 months, when Pluto goes back into the anaretic degree of Capricorn, and we're revisiting the time frame where a bunch of shit happened at this anaretic degree. I'm curious to see what happens. I know we're preparing for that long ass Pluto transit.
Right.
You're scared. Because automatically when you hear Aquarius and then you hear Pluto in Aquarius, most people's minds go, oh my God, fucking AI. You know,
Yeah.
all of these things that we're starting to see that are normal, which brings me to what I was going to pull up on the screen. I know we talked about this. And earlier our conversation about the haves and have-nots. I kind of want to hit the audience to what we were talking about with the extremes, because Pluto's extreme energy as a Scorpio.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this is like sudden extremes. Like going from there being a spot you can be in the middle class, so to speak. You don't have to be rich, but you're not destitute. And now it's like it's shrinking even further. It's been shrinking for a while. You can talk to people who've been saying that since maybe the 80s. But it's getting ridiculous.
The middle class was once a symbol of the American dream. The American middle class today paints quite a different picture.
Being middle class, I feel like you're really just in between a rock and a hard place. You know, you're in a spot where everyone's like, hey, you're doing better than, you know, low class. You're doing great. You should be fine. And you're underneath the people who are actually doing fine.
Stay tuned as we continue this discussion and talk about the have and the have-nots and the energy of Pluto in the continuation of this discussion. Thank you so much for watching another episode of the Astro G Ladies Roundtable, where we talk about astrology in a practical way. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you'll know when we post a new video. Peace.